Hi. This is Alex. It's getting noticeably colder here in the UK. I'm in Wimbledon Village near the tennis and wanted to use this opportunity to encourage those of you who are on the path of asking people for things. A few years ago I wrote a book called How to Get Illustration Clients, and it was a book about effectively marketing yourself and building your social network such that you generate new clients for your design or illustration business. But it was a book that applied to all kinds of practices, all kinds of service-based and even product-based businesses. So it was very much a book for many of us, and it still applies as much as it did 5 or 6 years ago till today, and very much so into the future. The fundamentals of marketing and getting clients through the door and generating business haven't really changed in the last 50 years, 100 years, 2,000 years. Think of that. The only thing that has changed are the layers that we've put on top of things to make things smoother and easier, like social networks, like Google Ads. Ultimately, though, we're in the business. If we're in a business, we're in the business of generating, creating, connecting with new people and nurturing current relationships as well, because relationships create friendships that involve people liking who we are and feeling trustworthy of us, trusting of us, and that is where business is born as well. Business is born in some form of friendship, some form of trust, and you can't build trust without getting to know people over a period and demonstrating that it's not all about you, that it's about helping these guys as well. So for many of us who have our own businesses, and this is going to be a skill that really applies to everyone moving ahead, we have to become good social circle builders, social network nurturers. That is going to be one of the most fundamental, really key soft skills to hone over the next few years. And if you aren't building your social networks and you're wondering why business isn't working, or you're wondering why life isn't not necessarily working, but not as efficient and results giving as it could be, a lot of it is owing to not maintaining those networks of people and maintaining those friendships, maintaining those connections, and continually keeping those people in that group aware of you and trusting of you and liking you. And I'm not talking about trying to impress people with gimmicks. I'm talking about providing value, providing things that have a positive effect on their own lives. And for those of us in this business, the business of creating and building networks, we're going to have to start getting good at handling rejection. Rejection is a key component of the art of social network growth and building. In order to bring new people into our world, we're going to have to face a certain degree of risk. That risk being someone saying, no, I don't want to be part of your network, or no, I'm not interested right now, or no, I'm not interested in your product, not interested in spending time with you right now. That's a rejection. But a rejection is information as well. You can see it in many ways. A rejection is information, it's feedback, and it's useful. And it's not necessarily a terrible incident. It's not necessarily a dark moment in your life when someone rejects you. It's just a moment in your life where you gain interesting information that you can then use later on when you return to that person. You don't need to burn any bridges when someone says no. You just move on for the time being, and then you can always return. So there's no dead ends necessarily, just information and just events that give you feedback. But the key thing that I wanted to get to in this vid is about rejection, and it's about the whole loop of creating and building those social networks. But the key thing that I've learned about rejection that's really helped me handle rejection and handle the possibility of being rejected, because you're not going to make an impact and see results through your social circle if you aren't willing to make mistakes and you aren't willing to hear plenty of people say, sorry mate, no. You have to be willing to hear no's and be willing to step forward into uncertainty and accrue more rejections in order to get more yeses. You can't just go out there and have a clean string of 8 yeses in a row from people, 8 sales in a row. It's very unlikely, especially if you're pushing yourself to get in front of bigger and better, shall we say, prospects and clients. If you're not getting a steady flow of rejections, you're obviously, well, it's a good indication that you're not pushing against your edge. So you're going to have to handle the idea of rejection, and it's a key component of being a master at this kind of stuff as well. The masters of social networking are able to handle rejection. And one of the best ways I've found to handle rejection, which makes it a lot easier to step up and move towards your edge and meet new people, is to understand rejection in the sense that if someone says no to you, and you feel bad about it, that's an indication of you not thinking abundantly enough. You're not thinking in terms of bringing more and more people into your life in quantity. So it's not just about quality in this case. It is about quality in the sense that you're providing value for someone, but you also need to be thinking about the quantity aspect of going out and building and nurturing your network. You need to see in terms of big numbers. If you worry about rejection, it means that you've only got 1 or 2 options. When you have few options, when you have few or fewer chances of being given a yes, you're going to worry more. You're going to be more latched on to that yes. You're going to be more needy. Does that make sense? If you had 100 people that you were working on developing relationships within a week, and someone said no, you wouldn't worry as much. You wouldn't feel the brunt of that impact of that no as much as you would, say, when you were working on 1 person to make friends with that week, or 3 people. If 1 out of 2 people said no to you, you'd feel it. It would feel bad to you because you have limited choice, limited options that you've provided for yourself, and you're in full control here. You're in full responsibility for creating more options, creating more quantity, creating abundance. And as the really salesy guys would say, you aren't filling your pipeline enough with enough new leads, new prospects, new people. And I don't like to call human beings leads and prospects, but in the marketing lingo, that's what they'd call new people that don't know you very well yet but are showing an interest, or could very well be good people to connect with. So rejection hurts less, and rejection doesn't even need to be a thing when you view social network activities as a thing of quantity, as something where you are moving out into the world and you're committed to connecting with many, many people, and you're committed to getting many, many no's, but you're going to get more and more yeses out of that pile of people that you've come across. So bring more people into your world. Think abundantly. And if you can think abundantly and you can create more choice and more options for you in terms of the people that could say yes to you, you're not going to be too fussed when someone says no. And that will help you be a stronger, more powerful, more confident networker. One of the most valuable tools and skills that's going to be required of all of us over the next few years. So become good at networking. Dedicate yourself to the skill of being a good networker, or a connector, or whatever you want to call it. And take in mind what I've shared today. Hopefully it made sense. Let me know if you've got any questions about this in the comments below. Always keen to hear your feedback and ideas, and see you in the next stroll about on a cold English day. Take care, guys.